good afternoon, everybody. I'm Jess Sherman coming to you today from my home office, and I'm here to talk to you about overwhelm. We all get stuck in overwhelm, whether you think of it as a feeling or it's an adjective or a verb. There's lots of different ways to talk about overwhelm, but as parents, we get stuck in overwhelm, and when you're stuck in overwhelm, you can't move forward. You feel like there's just too many things that you need to do, and so you don't do any of them, and you get stuck, you get paralyzed. I'm going to give you 5 strategies. This is what I do when I am stuck in overwhelm. I get stuck as a parent, as a mother, because, there's so many things that need to happen. I also get stuck as a business owner because I have huge vision of what I want to do. And I want to help you unstick yourself, okay? For those of you who don't know me, I'm Jess Sherman. I'm the author of Raising Resilience, and I am the creator of the online coaching program, the Raising Resilience Jumpstart Training Program for parents. What I do is I help parents with the food and feeding part of their kids' struggles. So most of my kids struggle with, most of my clients' kids struggle with self-regulation problems. So these are the kids who can't focus, who are impulsive, kids who struggle in school, kids who have ADHD, whether it's diagnosed or not, kids who have explosive behavior, anger, frustration. They're struggling to regulate their emotions, and they're struggling to learn and grow. And I help people with the food part of that, helping them use food as a tool to help their kids self-regulate better. So, like I say, my vision is huge, and I get stuck in overwhelm, and particularly parents with kids who are struggling. That's a lot of stress added to your day. It's a lot to manage with. The dynamics and your family dynamics are probably stressed as well. And so it's really, really easy to get stuck in overwhelm. And when you're stuck there, you're paralyzed. You can't move forward. So I was speaking with one of my coaches the other day, and I have several coaches. And these are the people who I have put consciously in my life to help unstick me when I am stuck, whether that's personally or professionally or as a mom, as a business owner, whatever. Some of these coaches I pay, and it's a very structured relationship, and I have certain expectations about what I want from them. And some of these people are not paid. They're friends, or they're acquaintances, or they're people who I reach out to regularly to help unstick me. So the first thing I want you to think of is, who do you have in your life to help you get out of those sticky places? Usually those sticky places are driven by overwhelm, right? There's just too much. The mountain is too big. You can't climb it. You don't know where you're going, and you kind of have blinders on. Who is going to help you with that? Make a list of those people. Stick it on your wall so you know who your resources are. Because every single one of us, every single one of you is going to get stuck in overwhelm. I kind of think of it as a place, really, or as a shadow. However you think of it, we get stuck there, and we need help to get out. So I'm going to give you, so think about that, but I'm going to give you some of my strategies. These are things I've worked on with my coaches, some of the things that I have just determined on my own. This is what I do. When I am feeling overwhelmed, I need to consciously shift my way out of it. Here's something to think about. Overwhelm can be kind of addictive. Sounds weird, but this is a realization that I came to recently. That feeling of gotta keep going, gotta keep moving, gotta keep doing. That is a feeling a lot of mothers feel, because running a family is like running a business. There's always more you can do. There is, the day never ends. You never stop thinking about it. You get into this go, gotta keep feeding, gotta keep doing, go pick this up, go do this, whatever. And it can actually be fairly addictive. And to break out of that addiction, or break out of that momentum, you could think of it as momentum as well, takes real conscious effort. So you got to be conscious about that. That's what I want to get across. So here's what I do. When I feel my wheels spinning, the first thing I do is detach. Detach from social media. Detach from Facebook. stop scanning through my email, stop scanning through the feed, because what is that? That is people getting into your brain. That is people showing you what you should be doing, what you should be reading, what you should know, what you should be answering, what you should be dealing with. It's other people influencing your energy. Detach from that, because you need to hone in your energy and really focus on you for a moment. So that's the first thing that I do. The second thing that I do is I move my body. Overwhelm is a sticky place. It's a heavy place. And in order to get out of that, I need to get my body moving and remember me. I have to come back to me. I have to focus my energy on me. So I get moving. Sometimes that means I go out for a walk. Sometimes that means I just hit the yoga mat and do some stretches, whatever it's going to be for you. Moving my body, and so this one and the next one kind of go together. Breathing. Just take some time to reconnect. Really, this is just coming back to you, right? Something that you actually really do have 100% control over is you, right? Move your body, get the energy moving, breathe. Breathe. Take some time to focus on your breathing. The next thing that I do, I guess this is strategy number 3 or 4, is consciously bring to the front of my consciousness the things that I'm grateful for, the things that I have, the things that I love, whether it's my health or my family or the roof over my head, the money in my bank account, the support of my parents, the support of my friends, my neighbors, the joy that my kids bring me, moments in time. Mother's Day, I got these beautiful pictures from Mother's Day. I take a look at them. The things, focus in on the things that you're grateful for and the things you've accomplished. Okay? So that's, and again, like it might seem really simple, but those things so quickly fade into the background of your consciousness when you're overwhelmed. So you got to bring them forward. And already for me, once I start moving, once I start breathing, once I start focusing on what I've accomplished and on what I'm grateful for, the overwhelm starts to dissolve for me. This works for me, so I hope it works for you. And then the last thing that I do is start to focus in on my to-do list, right? To-do lists usually are like the first thing that you think of, right? I want this to be your last thing that you think of. The first thing is to rein in your energy, get moving, get breathing, remember, connect, and then you can focus on your to-do list. But on your to-do list, I want you to pick only 1 or 2 things that are right in front of you, things that you are going to do now, not the big vision. 1 or 2 things. One of the things that I've learned through coaching that I've done is that there are some days when I can handle overwhelm. Or sorry, not overwhelm. There are some days that I can handle big picture. And there are some days that I just can't. For whatever reason. Maybe I haven't eaten enough, or I've got too much going on, or my kids are, for whatever reason. It doesn't matter. But there are some days that I can handle big picture thinking, and there are some days that I can't handle big picture thinking because it throws me into overwhelm. So think about that for yourself. Not every day is a big picture day, right? So when it's a big picture day, like just trust that those days are going to come. Big picture days are going to come when you're going to really be able to see it all and have a vision for your family and like move towards it and have a plan and plan things and sticky notes or whatever it is for you. Those days will happen, but it's not going to be every day. Someday it's like one foot in front of the other. What do I do? Breakfast on the table. Okay. Lunch is packed. Simple. So keep that in mind and focus on the 1 or 2 things that are right in front of you to do. Now that's where I spend most of my time coaching people, on the things that are right in front of them. And so as a nutrition coach, I am the holder of the big picture vision. And maybe you have a naturopathic doctor or a doctor or someone who you're working with as well who has the big picture vision. Hopefully you do. And what I give my clients are do this now. Now do this. Now do this. So that's one of the values that you can find in a coach. That's what my coaches do for me as well. They hold the picture and they keep me focused on the things that are right in front of me to do, because absolutely you want to jump ahead some days, right? Some days it's like, oh, but I want to, no, like the coach is the person who brings you back to the doable, what needs to happen now. That's what I do in the Raising Resilience group coaching program. Registration is open, and if you need coaching on this to keep you focused on step 1, step 2, step 3. No, don't move ahead yet. Come back. Have you done the basics? Because if you move ahead, I have people all the time. They come into my clinic and they're like, I gotta fix the gut. I want to do gaps or whatever. It's like, okay, that's big picture. That's big picture vision, and it's true. Anytime you want to influence the brain, one of the great things about food is that you can influence the gut bacteria, and that will influence the brain, and that will help kids self-regulate. And I write a lot about that in Raising Resilience. But that's high-level stuff. You're not going from like picky eating kid who will only eat 2 foods and, white foods at that, to gaps and gut healing, right? So we look for the low-hanging fruit. We look for, where are you going to start? If you haven't started with the basics, then you're not going to get to the gut healing. I hope that makes sense. If you try to jump right to the gut healing, you will be overshadowed in overwhelm, and then you get paralyzed, and then you can't move forward, and you're going to spend all your time walking and breathing and trying to do all these strategies. Anyhow, that is what I wanted to talk to you about today. I think I gave you 5 strategies for how to dissolve overwhelm, the feeling of overwhelm, being overwhelmed, however you want to say it, so that you don't get paralyzed, because there is a heck of a lot that you can do as a parent to help your kids learn to self-regulate. And unfortunately, some of the biological factors that are involved in self-regulation that I write about in my book, things like nutrient deficiencies or allergies or underlying infection, certain food addictions, so those are way too often missed. They're missed. And people jump right to, a more invasive kind of strategy, or kids are just left, feeling like, oh, well, that's just the way they are. And I just don't believe that to be the case. There are real biological underlying issues that can be dealt with that can help your kids self-regulate. So that's what Jumpstart's all about. It's a jump start. It's a place to start. It's taking the baby steps and just one foot in front of the other to try to figure out the food part, the food piece. So that's it. That's all I wanted to say. I want you to go out, and if you are feeling overwhelmed today, if today is one of those days where you can't handle big picture, you got to just focus in on one foot in front of the other. Take a moment. Turn me off, disengage, and then go for a walk or do some movements. I swear this works. This helps. Breathe. And then focus on what you're grateful for. Focus on your accomplishments, what you have done so far. And then you can focus in on the 1 or 2 things on your to-do list that are staring you right in the face. What needs to happen right now. Okay, I will talk to you later, guys. Bye-bye.